Hey, I'm Bob's, and I'm going to get back to my notes. But first, I want to say thank you so much for being part of Saturday morning cartoons and hanging out with me, watching commercials, giving me your suggestions. And listen, please continue to give me suggestions. I did a Transformers. I'm going to do something else. So just let me know some of the ones you want me to kind of cover and get into. Maybe a certain story arc or that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know what to do, but I know I'm having fun with you guys, and I appreciate it so much. So this week we're going to talk about Dreams in Darkness. It's a real fun episode because it is clearly the inspiration for so much of what they were going for with the Scarecrow, right? In the Nolan verse of films, it's very, very clear that's what they were going for is some of these elements. And yeah, got to be honest. It's done very, very well and really, really enjoyed it. So I am going to try to pull a little bit of it up and share that with you guys here in a second. Let me make it big. Oh, that's not going to work. Hmm. Why is it doing that? Why did it do this and then just, oh, well, where'd it go? Oh, I see. We got to switch it. Okay, perfect. Okay. And then change the graphics. There we go. All right, this one is called Dreams in Darkness. And I have to be honest, this was a very pleasant surprise. It's one that I had not, I kind of vaguely remembered, um, but obviously is very clearly instrumental and influential on the Scarecrow sort of Batman dynamic that we see in the Nolan films. It opens with Arkham Asylum, and Batman is in a straitjacket. He's completely kind of out of his mind. You don't exactly know what's going on here. And you sort of end up with like a voiceover before you have him going backwards and kind of explaining to you basically how he got there. So a lot of this lead up is that. All right, there you go, Batman and the thing. So he's investigating an attack on this warehouse. And again, okay, first off, let me pause right here because this is the Batman that we know and love in comic books. It's this silhouette with the cow and the shadows and the ninja moves in and out of rooms, disappearing, and it's just not done well enough in movies yet. It's been okay at times, but it's just not. We're just not there yet. So when he does this, and he has a quick little scuffle with this guy before he does it, and then of course when this machine goes off, it's throwing this gas everywhere. I thought it was a little weird that he was sort of like didn't know exactly who he was dealing with in this sort of flashback, but he goes to visit the guy to try to get more information, and he realizes he's been exposed. And she actually does a blood test on him, which I thought was interesting. He would even let her have his stuff before he sneaks out. And then, of course, he's already hallucinating, and the hallucinations are coming faster and faster and more dangerous. And in doing so, he crashes the Batmobile. Let's do a little shot here. Look how great the animation is. Look at the details in this background as it's going by. It's just everything about this show is next level. That's all there is to it. So it goes along. He thinks he sees Robin, and then of course when he wakes up, you know he's that's how he ended up at Arkham, right? And they had this sort of like back and forth about Scarecrow, and there's a timetable and all that stuff that's going on. And we're kind of getting some of the details as he's sort of figuring out how to get himself away and how he has to get there. And of course, he's constantly having these hallucinations. I love this one. Watch. It's the gun to kill his parents, and it's just done great. Oh, and look at this. Mm. There are part of me that doesn't like this Scarecrow, but then it's because there are so many versions of Scarecrow that I like. I always hesitate to say anything negative, but it's because there are so many good Scarecrow variations. That's the thing. It's just such a good villain. It's done very, very well. Yeah, again, cutting back to Batman, they have tranquilizer darts, and this is actually one of my favorite parts. Actually, was this little chase sequence where here, let me take it down for a second, just so I can get to the right spot. Oh, I want it. They'll stay hidden, man. Don't go popping back up. I was trying to get to the right scene or the right cut where you can see it go through the cape. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay. They got him kind of closed in on both sides. So he's run down a hallway. There's a guard following him. The other one's coming the other direction. So that's kind of what you've got the setup. And then the when the dart goes off, it actually goes through the cape and hits the guy. See, this was for kids. Look at how smart and clever that is. We can't get the, and it's like, take me downstairs where the Arkham water supply is, because that's where everybody's, and he's hallucinating big time. So when he makes his entrance, at first it's the Joker, and then it's like a giant version of Penguin who's causing everything to collapse. And then you have Poison Ivy and Two-Face and all sorts of crazy hallucinations. Really, really some of the strongest fear gas that Scarecrow has ever used, at least at this point. And that's the timer, the bomb that's going to go off and going to poison everybody. And of course, there's a big, faster kind of race. And of course, it's done right up against time when he has to reach past a snake. He's hallucinating that there's a snake where that lever would be. Okay, let's get it this way. See? I love how they change the facial dynamics on the cow to really give you a lot of expression. Something that's pretty much impossible to pull off in live action in a lot of ways. And then, of course, once the explosion goes off, there's a massive exposure that includes Scarecrow being enclosed. I will say on the design on this, because they give him his costume here to the left, they actually keep what looks like straw around his neck. And yeah, I don't really care for that part. And then you have he's gonna get the antidote, but it's gonna knock him out for a couple days. And they do this really cool close with this bat. Let me take it down for a second and see if I can get it just quite right. Here we go. Perfect. And Alfred leaves him. Jeez. Here you go. It's a bat. So a bat's hanging where the light is, and then its silhouettes as it's changing over him. So, wow, just everything about the show. It just hits every single stride. The way it makes callbacks, the way it makes references, the way it does a setup and a payoff, the way it gives you great animation, the voice cast. I don't know. I don't know what to say. This is another reason why you get so intolerant of such subpar entertainment in modern cinema and entertainment right now, because this was so good 30 something years ago. Crazy. Thank you so much for watching. Pops.
We'll return after these messages.
It's a bomb!
The eyes of justice are watching. It's Batman!
Riddle me this! Where would a villain like me hide a bomb?
Revving up on his high-powered bat cycle, Batman charges to the answer. A giant maze.
What flies but has no wings? Time! And it's running out!
Blasting off in his rocket gear.
Take that!
Turbojet Batman surprises Riddler. Time's up. The eyes of justice, Batman. Figure included with bat cycle. Other figures sold separately. Mason clock not included. The eyes of justice are watching. It's Batman!
Where would a villain like me hide a bomb?
A giant maze. Revving up on his bat cycle, Batman races to the scene, surprising Riddler. Time's up. Turbojet Batman triumphs. Batman.
Holy icicles!
In their daily pursuit of justice, our superhero characters do battle with the world's most evil villains. Where will the next evil villain come from? Maybe you will create them in Post Superheroes Create a Villain Contest.
Grand prize. 9 kids win a one-week trip to Hollywood. They'll have breakfast with these superheroes.
Just superheroes. Batman and Robin, the dynamic duo. Superman, the Man of Steel. Aquaman, the famous undersea crime fighter. Tarzan of the Apes. Shazam, now featured on network television. Captain America, fighting injustice the world over. Spider-Man, the weird wall climber. The Super Foes, the arch enemies of the superheroes. The Super Gals, Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Batgirl, and Catwoman. The Green Arrow, crime fighter from the forest.